The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild may seem like the farthest thing from a historical game. I mean, sure, there's swords and bows and arrows, and the environment vaguely represents a medieval setting, but at its core, Breath of the Wild is a fantasy game about an unending battle between an evil wizard and an ancient civilization with super advanced technology far beyond anything we have today. Nevertheless, in this video, I'm going to try to convince you that Breath of the Wild is full of fascinating history and actually engages in a millennia-old question that historians continue to debate to this very day. I'm Dr. Darren Reid, and you're watching the inaugural episode of History Through Games. Thank you for tuning in. I'm a historian at McGill University, and this is the first episode of a new video series I'm starting that will explore historical themes, concepts, and debates through the lens of popular video games. Especially video games that people don't think of as particularly historical. I really want this series to develop in collaboration with you, so please, if there are any games or historical themes you're interested in, let me know in the comments, and I'll move them up to the top of my future episode to-do list. A major element of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is the presence of ancient, technologically advanced automatons called Guardians that Link must defeat and save from Calamity Ganon's control in order to save the Kingdom of Hyrule. Now, you may think that these robots resemble 20th century machines like those depicted in The Matrix or in The Incredibles, and you're right about that. But the automatons in Breath of the Wild are also connected to a much older story going back thousands of years of advanced technological innovation, going all the way back to the ancient Greeks, who had various myths and legends of powerful automatons, none more famous than Talos. Talos was said to be a 100-foot tall bronze mechanical robot that guarded the island of Crete. He was said to be created by Hephaestus, god of the forge, invention, and technology, as a gift for Zeus's son Minos, the first king of Crete. Talos was tasked with guarding Crete against pirates, but according to Plato, he was also sort of a Robocop responsible for enforcing the law and resolving local disputes. Talos patrolled Crete 3 times a day, moving about 150 miles per hour. And if he recognized a foreign vessel, he could either pick up and hurl ginormous boulders to sink their ships, or, in close combat, he could superheat his body and hug people in a ginormous hug of death. Talos' abilities were powered by an internal system of divine ichor, the blood of the gods, but his dependence on god blood was also his biggest weakness. In the Argonautica, an epic Greek poem written by Apollonius of Rhodes sometime around 246 BC, Talos was defeated by the witch princess Medea, who cut the back of his ankle and bled the ichor out of his body. The story of Talos was incredibly popular throughout Greece for centuries. He appeared on vases from the 5th century BC, like this one showing his ankle being slit. He appeared on coins from the 3rd century BC, like this one showing him lob a boulder at a passing ship. My personal favorite is this back of a mirror, which is an engraving showing Talos hugging 2 men in a red-hot hug of doom. Let's continue to debate what exactly he was. Some historians argue that Talos was a supernatural living creature, given life by divine magic. Others argue that Talos was a machine crafted using advanced divine technology. And yet others argue that Talos was neither machine nor supernatural creature, but the last descendant of an ancient race of bronze men born from ash trees. Perhaps Talos was all of these things at different points in time, reinterpreted according to ongoing developments in ideas of humanity, the gods, and technology. Or perhaps he was none of these things, his true nature lost in historical documents that no longer exist. I would argue, however, that one thing is for certain, that the fantastical automatons in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild are only the latest manifestation of an ancient tradition of supernatural mechanical beings imagined forth by humans throughout the ages. What do you think? Do you buy my argument that the automatons in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild are connected to the ancient history of Talos in Greek mythology? Or do you think the two are completely unconnected? More interestingly, what do you think of the idea that humans have continued to imagine forth supernatural, super advanced automatons for thousands of years, long before the Industrial Revolution or the 20th century gave us the images of machines that we have today? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I really want this series to develop in collaboration with you. So please, if you have any thoughts on future video ideas, if you have any historical themes you're interested in, or if you think there's a game that I should try to play, let me know in the comments and I'll respond in upcoming videos. That's all for today. I will see you in the next video. Bye!